Hey everyone, welcome back to Caldwell University, where we're wrapping up the transformation of this space into something that's alive. Today, we'll show you how we handle the essential plumbing and lighting to bring this fountain to life, and if you stick around till the end, you'll see the grand reveal.
I gotta say, we don't get too many haters on this channel, which is fantastic, but the haters that we do have, their biggest complaint is we don't show how we do the plumbing. It's always like, yeah, you guys show the whole job, but you don't show the plumbing. You suck, right? Come on, I'll show you some plumbing. All right, I'll take it from start to finish here. We've got our AquaSurge 5000 pump. Now from that, I'm gonna take this out of here so I can show you guys what it looks like. So here's an AquaSurge 5000. This is a great pump, right? It's a high efficiency pump, works real well, especially in these situations where it's inside a vault. It's not inside a skimmer, so there's not any really debris getting into this thing. This is not a solids handling pump, but it's a mag drive high efficiency pump. So it's gonna be a low cost pump to run. On here, we've got a fitting that usually comes, we've got some of these laying around. This is just an MPT, or I'm sorry, FPT, female pipe thread by a slip fitting. So we were able to glue our 2-inch pipe into here. We've got a little stack on it with a 90 that gets us out this way. And on the end, we glue on a union. This way we can take it out like you see here and service it. So in the wintertime, if we want to pull this pump out, we just undo this. No tools required, so we don't have to get in with screwdrivers and wrenches. We could just undo this by hand and this whole thing comes out. Super great to work with as far as maintenance goes. And you want to think about that stuff when you're doing your plumbing. If you plumb something and you can't service it later, you're gonna have to get your Sawzall out and cut plumbing out because now you can't get anything apart. So think about that kind of stuff when you're doing your plumbing. Okay, so we're gonna put this back in the vault. We'll hook that up later, but that just screws onto there. Coming out to here, now we're gonna create what we call a manifold. Water's coming out of here into our 2-inch line. So we wanna go 2-inch because we wanna use all that volume of that 5,000 gallon hour pump before we start shrinking it down to feed these different spheres. So off of here, we're branching off through T's. The reason we turn this out here because we want to get away from the spheres a bit, give us some room to actually get some irrigation boxes on top of these valves. So later on, when we put gravel in here, the valve box protects the valve and we can actually undo a cover and get in here and adjust things as necessary as the years go by. So we're coming in through our trunk line here, which is our 2-inch, and then we're just branching off simply through T's, reducing down to 1-inch, and this is what's controlling the flow going to each of these spheres. Going into the sphere, we've got 1-inch hard pipe. I like to use hard pipe with this kind of stuff as much as possible because it doesn't move around like the flex does. If I did flex in here, it would kind of snake its way in, and then the pipe might end up like not sitting exactly straight. If those pipes aren't straight coming out the top of those spheres, you're going to see it with the finished product. If it's got a little bit of a lean to it, that water, when it's coming out the top, will be coming out one way or the other. We want to be straight up and down. It's crucial for the finished effect. So I like using hard pipe. We're simply coming in underneath the sphere. We cut a little notch in it so the sphere can sit flush on top of our reservoir. And then we just 90 up in there. Super simple. Where it comes through in the top of the sphere, let me show you. There's actually a punch out that comes with these spheres. This thing fits right through it. So there's a little bit of a gap in here. No problem. We're just gonna go ahead and put a bead of foam in here. That'll seal that up. We'll probably put a rock here to hold it so it doesn't move around when it's drying. Once that foam dries up, we pull the rock out. This thing is gonna be sturdy, it's gonna be in there, and it's gonna be good to go. Now, what I wanna do is, since I want that water coming, like the water column is probably gonna be as high as what the pipe is now. Now, you could leave your pipe this high, but it would look ridiculous. So if you cut the pipe flush with the top of the sphere, or if you have an urn, same thing, you cut the pipe flush with it, what that's gonna do is prevent oscillating. So if I had this pipe just into a fitting down here, all the way to the bottom of this pool, what happens is as it comes up, the water's actually kind of spinning. It's rifling up through that pipe, and it starts to do this thing inside that pool where it's like splashing water off at different consistencies throughout the urn, throughout the sphere. So it's not gonna be a clean column of water. It'll be bubbling, but it'll kind of be like a big mess up here. If I cut the pipe flush with this, it's gonna make sure it doesn't do that. I'll get that column of water. I'll still get the pooling, but it'll be clean. I'll get a clean column of water here and it'll evenly come down over the sphere. And if you look down inside here, you'll see a 3-watt light. we actually drill and countersink this light in here, and we'll just put some silicone around it so the water doesn't get lost inside the light. When we get this thing fired up and at night, we want that light coming up and highlighting that column of water. It's gonna look fantastic. It looks like this thing's on fire with that light coming out of there. It's really a great look, especially with these spheres or with the urns. So that's that. And actually when we're done, what we'll do is we'll cover up this light. We're gonna paint this black. So during the day, you literally won't even see the pipe. You'll just see that column of water coming up here. It's a nice clean install and it works fantastic. And we're just gonna replicate the same thing on all three of these spheres. The one thing that you wanna make sure you do, especially if you're doing a manifold, anything where you're feeding multiple features, is over here. At the end of our run, we got 1, 2, 3 valves, right? So if I just put a 90 here and went into here, if anything happened to get into that pump, small pieces of gravel, debris, whatever, this is our choke point. So I've had this happen. This is why we started doing this. I've had it to where I've had to cut entire manifolds out because of stuff that would get into the pump. So if somebody's servicing this and it's not us or whatever, and something gets in there, small pieces of gravel, over a couple of years, a couple of those get in there, they'll get jammed in the furthest point. So this is where the water wants to go. If this was 90 at the end, this is the bottleneck. So if it gets inside this valve, guess what? You're not getting that stuff out. Not unless you cut it all out and put new stuff in. That's why we do this. At the end of the run, we'll run a T. I put about a foot, 15 inches of pipe at the end of it. We'll put a cap with a removable end on it, which I can't get off my hand. Anyway, imagine this comes off. So what that does is gives me a clean out port. So when this is running, if something were to get inside the pipe, it's gonna push to the end, it's gonna get trapped down here and not into any of our valves. If I need to, later on down the road, I can come over here, unscrew this cap, turn my pump on and flush out any debris that might be in there, and it's not a problem. I'll never have to cut my plumbing apart, and I'll never have a big headache on my hands. So this is definitely an important part of creating a manifold. No matter what you're doing, whether it's inside a reservoir situation, even on a pond, we always go past our plumbing so that any debris that's in there can get trapped into a place where we can actually get it back out. So that's plumbing 101. If I see any hate in the comments, I'm gonna find out where you live, because I'm giving you everything right now. All right guys, let's talk lighting. So you might see all these black pipes laying around inside here. We use these as conduit. This is actually an irrigation pipe. It's a heavy wall, 1/2 inch. We call it swing line or funny pipe. So inside all of our spheres, we've got this run up inside there with our light that's chased down inside of it, as well as these areas where we're putting lights inside the pool itself. The reason we do that is if we lose a light in one of the tops of these, we can easily replace it without having to disassemble this entire sphere, which would be a real pain in the neck. So we're gonna take these and we're gonna run over to a hub. We use these irrigation boxes to run into as a junction. So we'll place this somewhere back in here. We're actually gonna drill into the side of it and push these pipes in here, so it'll be a nice, neat installation. Bring all our wires to one central location. It's only 6 lights in here, so we can do them all to one connection. And then from there, we'll go to our transformer. If we have any issues in the future, we can go to this box, and this is where all our connections are. If we're doing a larger project, there'll be multiples of these boxes all over the place, but what we'll do is we'll make a map, and we'll understand what lights go to which hubs. So when you're looking down the road, especially when you have your own water feature, you kind of want to think about these things so that when things do reach the end of their lifespan, they can easily be fixed and replaced without disassembling everything.
With all the details finished, it's time for the fountain's big reveal. So let's turn it on and see it in action. Let us know in the comments what you think of the finished look and how it all came together.
All right, Boley, let's turn it on.
Oh my God. Yay! It's so beautiful.
Oh, we got some life in the courtyard, huh?
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
Oh, it's
And it lights up.
Yeah,
I want to bring my desk out here.
So what do you think about the garden space around
It's
it?
so perfect. It's
Love it.
perfection. It's
Love
just
it.
stunning. Absolute perfection.
I saw some kids out sitting here before, just doing some homework or whatever. Now they're gonna have this. I think that's gonna really enhance the space, no?
It's everything.
and it's soothing.
So beautiful.
That's the thing about these spheres is they have a great look just by themselves as an architectural piece, and it's got that nice column of water where you can really see the stuff coming up the top and then down the sides. But it's not a huge splash zone, so it's not going to be a big problem with like the pavers getting super wet on the outside.
Which is also fine.
Yeah, I think it looks great in
It's
this space.
stunning.
Did we hit it, Sheila?
You hit it. You nailed it. So
Stand in
perfect.
front of there. I want to get a picture of you.
Wait.
I get the weight.
I don't want to stand in front of
Oh,
anything.
you're good. That's it. There you go.